Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan Weinberger here, CEO and co-founder of Morpheus.Network. Here with an awesome video for you guys. Always love these AMAs. This is the September 2023 AMA. Going to go through the questions over here. A couple double questions, a couple duplicates. I'll skip those. But in general, great list of questions as always. Thank you so much to the community. Thank you everyone who added questions to Reddit for the community that doesn't have a Reddit account. That helps as well. So thank you so much to everyone. Without further ado, let's get to some questions. Hello, Dan and team. Do I understand correctly that you are now working with Microsoft as part of their startups Founders Hub, not just one of the startups going through the program itself? I think you could elaborate on. Also, any shareable news on the new website and our new roadmap launch date. Thanks. Great question. We've actually been a part of some amazing accelerator programs. We've spoken in the past about being a part of the Google for Startups Accelerator, Plug and Play, the largest by number of companies invested in VCs in the world, that we're part of their accelerator program as well. Of course, mentioned in this question over here, the Microsoft accelerator program, SAP.io is an accelerator program with SAP as well. And we see all these different programs, give us multiple benefits, actually. Of course, working with these companies directly and have those tech integrations into what they provide, whether it's Microsoft with Azure, Microsoft Dynamics, and all the other solutions that they have in play, whether it's Google, these different integrations we created with Google for SME specifically, small and medium enterprises, just amazing. That's all from a tech side. And then we have their sort of backup as well. We have the actual software companies, the ERPs, whether it's SAP, whether it's Microsoft. If we need some assistance with those integrations, we have those guys in the back end. One thing that's been amazing with that, it was Google and that Google Accelerator program. We met right away a whole bunch of Google mentors. They call themselves Googlers, really open to discussing technology and where they're looking to take Google as the future goes on, into the future, I should say. We're super excited about that as well. I mentioned in the past that we've actually asked a couple Googlers or Google mentors to join our board of advisors, which they've agreed to do. So we'll have some announcements based on that as well. Super excited to invite people from these, amazing multinational software companies around the world to part of our board of advisors and helping us move forward and grow as a company. Besides that, obviously we made a lot of connections to the other startups within the cohorts that we were a part of. When it comes to the Google one in particular, I was able to physically go to the Toronto office, the Toronto Google office, meet all the different startups. We had a live presentation there, a live demo of our platform as well, which was awesome. Great, companies involved there with the Google program. There are more greener, I'd say, like newer companies. With SAP, the companies in our cohort are much more advanced. I'm actually going to go to the SAP.io program show in October. That's going to be in New York. I have another show and event in Philadelphia right before that. That's the second week of October. We're going to the first show with Carl McDermott and David Lanuski from our channel partner head. Will be meeting me in New York for the SAP show as well. The rest of the team will be busy. They'll be flying off to Saskatoon and running a webinar with FCL, our massive client out there in Saskatoon. Super excited for all that stuff. So I'm getting a little bit off track here, but these accelerator programs, once again, we have the cohort, we have the actual startups themselves, we have the actual companies that we're a part of, whether it's Google, Microsoft, SAP, but obviously also the companies that leverage these technologies, the clients of SAP. Now we're a part of the SAP marketplace. Now we have a Google verified product part of the Google marketplace as well. Companies are leveraging Google solutions. Companies are leveraging SAP solutions. Companies are leveraging Microsoft solutions. Now they know Morpheus.Network has solutions within supply chain that can help their operations. So really, it's threefold, I guess you can say: the cohorts, the companies themselves, and then the clients, the prospects that we can meet through these companies too. Really amazing. I will say there's a question later on about getting the initial project started with the actual prospects that we've met through these programs. We've actually signed our first contract to leverage the speed supply, the Google solution. They're going to be setting up shipments in 30 seconds or less through that Google integration. And again, that solution did not exist before we started developing as a part of that Google for Startups Accelerator program. These accelerators, the Microsoft ones, particularly questioned in this statement here, have been amazing. We look forward to growing along with our partners, the cohorts, the startups in these programs itself. So really awesome and validating to be a part of these programs. One thing I'll say about these accelerators, we've applied to them before. We applied to, Plug and Play the first time, and we didn't get in actually. We applied to Google in the past as well. We just weren't in that right position to join that accelerator program. But this year worked out for Google. Obviously, Plug and Play, we've done a few different events with them as well. It is a timing thing, and then they are quite picky with the companies that they let into a part of the cohort of the accelerator. So limited availability. We've been lucky enough to be a part of a lot of different accelerators and helping us grow as a company. So thank you for that question. Shareable news on the website and roadmap launch date. Website is looking amazing. I will say that the website, which has taken, let's be honest, it's taken a lot longer than we thought it was to push it out. I know Noam himself, Noam Epple, my co-founder, good friend and CEO of Morpheus. He's a perfectionist when it comes to websites. So I don't want to say, soon or give you guys, sort of like a general date without knowing the exact time it will be pushed live. One thing I will say that the website is fantastic. I've said that before. It's geared more towards the solutions that we provide. When it comes to enterprises, if they're looking for a specific solution, they'll be able to dive right into our website, find some great details about it. If they're looking for specifically, let's say, physical asset traceability, if they're looking for compliance document handling systems, things that we can provide. If they're looking for it, they'll be able to find it on our site, find some case studies related to it, clients that are leveraging our platform as well. A lot of amazing stuff for this website. It's going to have a ton of content. It's going to be, it's very much updated, very modern. I really like it. Might look for some parallax effects in there as well. So look forward to that. It's coming together. I'm not going to use the word soon, but it will be pushed live shortly. All right. So next question here. Thank you for that question. What lesson learned from Node's operation have get so far? What can you expect a ramp up on MNW utility and high demand? Yeah, great question. Now, when it comes to what we've learned, from this Node program, we've learned a lot. Obviously, when it comes to just simply getting the Node validators on the system, getting it set up properly, there were some growing pains with that, getting the CLI into place. I know, Volodymyr Katansky, Mr. V, was a great help with that. I can't praise Triple Dutch, one of our great community members. Can't thank him enough for being such a huge help to the entire community to get their Node system up and running. Now we've worked out a lot of those kinks. The initial reaction from our community has been amazing. What have we learned as well? That the tech is running very smoothly. Actually, once we get the validators on the system to actually validate, in parallel, creating that digital twin of transactions, we built that really, really well. We have to grow the integrations when it comes to all the different data sources that we're pulling into our middleware to have this parallel TrustMNW, this in parallel digital twin, which validates all that data we're recording on our middleware through our middleware. That takes a lot of work and a lot of development, and that's what we're in process right now. So when it comes to what we've learned, the tech has been great. Working with this team, with Volodymyr and George and Ivan, and that whole team has been amazing as well. I love having a dedicated team to TrustMNW or Trust.Supply, as it's being renamed shortly. Everything's been going well on that side. Stuff that has not been going as well, I'd say is more so growing the network out to add on more validators. We've been trying to go through, let's say, various influencers, discussing the system, discussing how they're a part of, in my opinion, the best use case for blockchain, which is supply chain, and actually being a part of the validator network, which allows the blockchain to validate the data that we're flowing through our network. So I think it's an amazing way to not actually just be a part of, let's say, the crypto sphere or hold a token, but actually being a part of helping businesses validate their data. Real world use, being a part of a system that right now is in a beta phase. So you're getting on extremely early. There's obviously, when it comes to our beta phase, and we want the validators to hop on the network, having this guaranteed, percentage that you're going to get back, compensation for helping us with this test period is so essential. And the second part of this beta phase was to add on as many validators as possible. I would have liked to see that, if you're talking a line graph, I'd like to shoot up like this and just have the entire network filled out right away. It's been a little bit slower than we'd like. We've done a whole bunch of marketing around it. Obviously, I can talk all day about how amazing it is to have this digital twin of validated data. The view for TrustMNW through our middleware, through our clientele, is to not only have a couple of the integrations, a couple of the data flows flow through TrustMNW to validate it, but having every one of those data flows. So when we're talking about Gulf Tainer, this is the world's largest private port operator. Many thousands of transactions are flowing through their system. from their terminal operating system, their TOS, flowing through their, the API hub that we built to their transport management system, connecting these different systems together. When a truck gets loaded, a container gets loaded onto a truck, and then the truck gets sent off, and we have all those different handling points. All these different handling points, we have to make that data valid. We have to make that data trusted by all the different stakeholders down the supply chain. It could be a shipper from the other side of the world. It could be a company from Canada, a great company from Canada shipping out and being received all the way out on the other end of the Middle East. And every stakeholder wants to agree that data point, handling point happened at the right time, the right place, and you have that responsibility. You want to make that data valid. That's where TrustMNW comes into play. That's where that Trust.Supply, that digital twin valid data network comes into play, where you can look into TrustMNW, see exactly where the handling point happened for this container when it was unloaded, and everyone can trust that data inherently. This is what we're building, and that goes through all the different integrations, all the different clients. We're talking about international supply chain for Coca-Cola. When we're talking about FCL, where they're doing track and trace with FCL. When we're doing the document handling system with FCL, whether we're using different techs like IPFS to handle the documents. When a document's submitted, when a shipment's delivered, and you have that handling point. All these different data points, whether it's from an IoT device, whether it's from simple QR code scans. Whatever it is, whether it's a final payment through our Swift network integration, whatever it would be, we take that critical data point, relay it into TrustMNW, and then have that digital twin network as well. Super excited about that, and that allows us to keep on growing our platform, keep on doing what we're doing, signing more clients, pushing transactions, and then in parallel, we have a digital twin trusted network. What's so amazing about TrustMNW or Trust.Supply as well is that we're building it to have that flexibility to be able to have other companies leverage TrustMNW as well. When I mean other companies, I mean other software implementation companies. If they have their own system that they want to pull an API from let's say, a different stakeholder connected to TrustMNW, make that data valid, create that digital twin on the back end, and basically compare the data points from the digital twin completely trusted to their data set. We'll trust it then based on that TrustMNW validated data. We're allowing any company to be able to hop on and take advantage of that. So right now, yes, we're in the beta phase. Yes, transactions flowing the network aren't as high as we all would like it to be, of course, but this is the beta phase. It doesn't matter how high the transactions are flowing through our main platform. We have to finish the integrations. We have to test the network properly, right? And that's why we want to add on more validators. And I know it's been a big question about allowing more of the say original original alpha testers and beta testers to increase their amount of tokens they can stake, increase the amount of nodes they can hold and be validators as for basically a larger part of this beta phase. We understand that. It just kind of against what we're looking to do at this part of the phase, which is actually grow the amount of validators and not just have these large nodes individually validating. So I hope that's understandable from the community. We're doing what we can do to make, obviously we like to make everyone happy, but we have to follow the path that we're actually trying to do with this beta test network. And this point right now is to add on more validators. We're working hard at that. And obviously, honestly, when it comes to growing the network within this crypto sphere and the blockchain space, a lot of it is word of mouth. So a lot of companies out there discuss, let's say, their tech and what they're looking to build. What we're able to discuss is our clientele and what we're actually doing with our tech in the real world. So we're hoping our community members can speak about that, discuss what we're doing, whether in different forums or chats, and we'll see if we can add more validators to the network and grow the community as well. So I think that would be win-win for everybody. Excited to do that. In the beta phase, it's going amazingly well. We just want to keep on growing it. So thank you again for that question. Where is Mr. V? Mr. V, maybe I've revealed his identity, is Volodymyr Katansky. He is a wonderful software engineer, great project manager as well. Working with him on two specific huge projects, of course, TrustMNW or Trust.Supply. He is the project manager of that project specifically. I talk to Volodymyr multiple times every single week. We have meetings every single week as well. And another project, which is a government-related project. Super excited to have that project, and also excited to have Volodymyr lead the development team on that too. So, thank you for that question. Why can't you share more numbers? Is it a legal reason? In some cases, yeah, there's you can't just discuss certain contracts and what the value of the contract are from legal reasons and non-disclosures. But at the same time, as I mentioned before the last question, when it comes to, let's say, dashboards and displaying, let's say, private company revenues and all that, timing has to be right. We want to show you, the revenues that relate to specifically leveraging the token that token holders are holding. I know this question has come from token holders, so I'm speaking to you directly. So, when it comes to, is the company growing in the proper direction? In my opinion, 100% doing amazingly. Our team is gelling together. Love working with James Tolan, love working with Travis Armand, love working with Noah Meppel. So I'm going to keep on, enjoying what I'm doing as a CEO of the company, keep on growing it out. But once again, getting that consultation, getting those initial prospects, figuring out what those problems are and converting them into transactions. This is the phase that we're in right now when it comes to, company growth. When will beta finish? Will percentage of AR, what will the percentage of AR go to the nodes? Please and thank you. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you for that comment. Beta, once again, we said it'd be up to 18 months. We're right now at the 9-month point of beta. So we're about halfway through. Once again, none of this is written in stone. These are test phases for TrustMNW or Trust.supply, which is going to be a validating network for eternity. So, if it takes us, let's say, an extra 3 months or 3 months less, based on our current bandwidth with clients, based on current implementations, based on the integrations that we're completing with TrustMNW, then be it, right? So be it. It will be completed. This is what we're working towards. I actually had a meeting. It was with one of our internal team members who aren't on the TrustMNW team, and they were wondering, what's going on. And we started discussing TrustMNW and sort of our, roadmap with, connecting, other companies to it and other connections and APIs. And I just got more and more excited about it and realizing that, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most amazing validating network, for supply chain specifically all around the world. We have companies anywhere, around the world using it. So it's more about the long-term vision of TrustMNW. I know that people want to get compensated. I can understand that. But once again, we are using this beta phase for what we need it for, which is growing out the network, testing the network, completing those integrations before we can go to production, and then let our clients and all these other companies connect to it as well. So super excited for that. Hi, Dan and team. Can you release some client names? We're pushing data nodes at full production. FCL, Coca-Cola, Retail King Golf Painter, all of the above. Yes. Well, every single one of our clients, all the different integrations, all the different critical data points flowing through this digital twin network. Super excited about that. And that includes every company mentioned on here. Federated Co-op. This is the 3rd largest food distributor in all of Canada. Close to 2,000 retail facilities that they have in Canada. And this is our client that's signed for multi-years. We have multiple integrations with them as well. Super excited with that. Coca-Cola, the most recognizable brand all around the world, doing international supply chain work with them as well. Vital Can, the largest pet food provider in Argentina. Gulftainer, the world's largest private port operator, running ports in the Middle East, running some ports in America as well. We're talking millions upon millions of tens of millions of transactions with these clients right here. The project we're working on with Coca-Cola is 20 million cases of product. So you can imagine how much data would have to be validated to TrustMNW once it's running in production. So super excited. The next question was future plans expanding out of LATAM. Most definitely, we have these discussions going on right now. More consultations, more potential prospective projects with Coca-Cola as well. So yeah, look out for that. Any direct pilots with Microsoft or Google come to the recent collaborations. I mentioned earlier, we actually signed our first contract to leverage our Google solution. That is the speed.supply solution, 30 seconds or less setup. And that's going to be connecting their data from Google Contacts, Google Single Sign-On, creating BOLs and shipping docs based on specifically what the client requires. And that all came out of our Google collaboration, that Google for Startups Accelerator. Great question. So you have many companies, resellers of your SaaS. Are they all using same name, settings, and options, the different customizations of the platform? For example, different name of the platform. We actually allow, to have a client sign a contract and push it ahead. We are completely fine with white labeling. To give you an example, Federated Co-op, the platform that they use actually is a co-op platform. When their suppliers log on, they see a co-op platform up there, right? So it is white labeled for Federated Co-op. This question is specifically talking about our resellers, our partner network, our Alliance partner network. Again, we allow them to white label. We haven't had a reseller say we want to white label it under our own brand. It's more so resellers talking to clients about using the client's brands as that white label. That is a great feature you can upsell to a client. Say, let's get the deal done. It'll be your own platform, white label for your specific brand and company. All different companies you work with will see your platform, not just branded some other, third-party software company. So we do that all the time. And yes, when it comes to, our resellers or even just an ambassador or, even whether it comes to our clients, we have different solutions across the board, right? They need, brand protection, which we built with SAP. We actually run that, on a different infrastructure, different stack as well. Whether they need, document handling system, whether it's, simple, let's say, track and trace of, let's say IoT on physical, assets, or just handling point track and trace as well. Whatever's required for the specific supply chain, those are the integrations and solutions that we make active for our reseller and our clients. So yeah, great question. And yes, the variability when it comes to different supply chains, whether they run insurance through our March integration, whether they want to do, let's say document creation cross-border, whether they want to do a payment integration, whether they want to use different crypto integrations as well, whether they want to hash on different chain, we use TrustMNW. Yes, we give access, to our resellers to all these different solutions, but it has to be, what the client can leverage in order to push that through and become a successful implementation. So that's the last question I have over here. Really great questions. I know everyone's excited about, the Trust.Supply network they're a part of TrustMNW. Keep an eye out for more updates on that as well. I love these questions about the accelerators and all that, just because, I mentioned multipliers many a time. These are exactly what we're doing with these accelerators, allowing us to multiply the amount of clients, amount of prospects, amount of companies we're dealing with, growing our partner network as well. So once again, guys, as always, love the AMAs, love talking directly to the community. Any other questions that we have, I know the questions are pumping in because it's still just the start of September when I'm recording this, but we'll try to do AMAs more often, and I don't mind even doing shorter ones once in a while. So as always, guys, appreciate you guys watching. Reach out anytime you want, Dan at Morpheus.Network. And as always, guys, have a great day.